Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Age of Empires 3 Thursdays. I am Mr. V, and strap in, because we are in for an exciting match. I'm not going to give it away. I'm just going to introduce the map, and you guys will see why I am so excited for this week's matchup. We're already on week 4, and I'm incredibly humble, and I'm grateful for all the support you guys have given me so far. If you've chosen to subscribe, you're incredible. If you haven't subscribed, you're also still incredible. So, that's one of the reasons I'm so excited, is I just feel so blessed for all the people who have decided to watch these silly games and leave a comment. Speaking of comments, we are on the map Finland this week. I got my map wrong last week. I am fallible. I am only human. But thank you, Joshua, for pointing that out. It was not Yucatan. We were on Baja, California, and any actual caster would have known that. But luckily for me, I am a complete fraud. So, in the top of the map, on Finland, in the color yellow, it is not Shake. We're taking a break from Shake. That was a rhyme. That was awesome. It's actually GG Revnak, one of the most well-known, and I would say one of the top players in the modern community, playing as the Germans in the color yellow, and as you can see from the chat, a bit rusty with this civ. So, we'll see if he's able to pull out his usual Revnak flair. Picking up some pretty good treasures, and sending his first shipment of 2 settler wagons. Very, very standard there. And in the bottom of the map, playing as the color blue and as the civilization Inca, we have the legendary Aizamk. His 3 villagers are about to arrive. Now, I am kind of an old school player, and this is why I'm so excited. I remember the days of Interjection and Zuda Zuda and Saturday SmackDown. And there was no more exciting news back in that day than hearing that Aizamk and Mido were going to play a best of 7. It was so much fun. It brings back so many warm memories for me watching those matches. And so I guess I've just got a little bit of an extra pep in my step this week. But for those of you who aren't aware, Aizamk, one of the most treasured and cherished players for the community, always known for his very fun builds, and as far as I know, a really awesome individual as well. So, we have Inca versus Germany. We have one of the newer players playing one of the older classic civs, and one of the older players playing one of the newer DLC civs. What a conundrum we have here. But Aizamk is getting ready to go to the second age, pretty even as far as treasures. I haven't seen any major pickups, a lot of 40 woods, 35 woods, 55 coins, 30 coins. The Inca player has picked up a Plague Doctor as well as a gunman. I saw that Plague Doctor wandering around here somewhere. Not sure where he is now, along with the scouts. So the Inca player, if we turn off, yeah, he's already got quite a bit of scouting on the map, though he has not scouted Revnak's base just yet. Meanwhile, it looks like Revnak is also going up to the second age. He's actually a little bit ahead of Aizamk, and he's put down his market, and I'm going to assume that he got his hunting dogs very nice and early. He's also putting down one of the land trading posts in the middle during the transition. Now, I say land trading post because Finland does have what I would kind of call these sea posts, right? Where ships come in and deliver resources that way. So a bit unique there. It's not just the land route. You have options. Meanwhile, he's actually going to claim this second trading post as well. However, whether he gets it built or not will be interesting. He's being attacked by the scout. In comes the Incan explorer. In comes 2 Plague Doctors and a gunman. Let's see if he gets this up in time. He's down to about 150 HP. I don't think he's going to do it. Is he? Is he going to get it up in time? No! Oh, it was almost built. What a catch by Aizamk, catching the German player right as he was trying to claim the entire land route line. However, the German player has still gone to the next stage, and if he sends somebody, yep, it looks like he did ransom his explorer, so he might try to rebuild that once that gang of Incan hired muscle has left. Sending his 700 wood along with the 2 Ulans. Meanwhile, Aizamk has put down a couple of native trading posts along with his sea post in transition. Very interesting there. He's sending Order of Vasa, which gives him a faster gathering rate and a trickle from his buildings. A faster trickle, 10%, excuse me. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. We have a forward German barracks from Revnak. And there it is, the 5 pikes. We're gonna be seeing a classic Expo pike rush. Very interesting, yes, look, there's the second barracks, and he's already getting stagecoached. So a huge wood investment from Revnak immediately into the game. No wonder he set both of his trading posts to wood and sent the 700 wood, sending the 600 wood as well, throwing down a ton of houses so he can have plenty of population to support his military output. Meanwhile, what is Aizamk doing to prepare for this? He's got a lot of concha houses down. He's also got a market. No military building yet as far as I can see. What is scientific expeditions? He's spawning a hot air balloon and creating plumed spearmen. Well, I guess these native posts are military buildings, right? Because they can create military units. Sending 2 Warhot Travoy as well, so it looks like he's going to slam down a bunch of military infrastructure, hopefully in time to counter these pikes and these Expos. But now that the 600 wood and 700 wood are on the floor for the German player, those units are going to be coming out hard, they're going to be coming out fast, and sending 8 crossbows as well. So this is kind of an all-in Expo pike rush for the German player, which is kind of interesting. Usually, a lot of German players like to prefer that Age 3 build, right? Because they have ludicrous Age 3 shipments. And, you know, Germany's just a very powerful Age 3 civ. But they can play a decent colonial game, and he might be able to put on enough pressure to do some lasting damage to the Incan civilization. Although, his Ulan, his raiding Ulan, very nicely being caught by these plumed spearmen. A great catch for Aizamk. Meanwhile, he sent the Royal Arquebusiers, which are going to help take out these crossbows very quickly. I mean, look at these crossbows and pike. They're kind of melting fairly rapidly due to all of this pressure from these fairly powerful ranged infantry. Meanwhile, the plumed spearmen and the scout keeping them snared. Excuse me, I lost the word there for a moment. More arquebusiers coming out, along with plumed spearmen, and more crossbows coming across the map for the German player, along with more pikes. He does need more siege potential in this army if he's going to try to take out all this infrastructure. But first he needs to deal with the Incan army, which is making its way, gonna possibly do a counterattack. Meanwhile, Revnak has begun a sort of fishing economy along with his trading posts, so a very nice economic foundation for this military output. However, look at all of these, look at all these Chimu runners getting into the crossbows. The pikes finally able to try to protect, but a lot of crossbows going down. Meanwhile, the Royal Arquebusiers coming behind and taking down those pikes. Look at those pikes just melting. Pikes, very good siege, very good at being a static defense against cavalry and shock infantry, but in the face of ranged attack, pikes just melt, which makes them a really hard unit to use effectively. And I think that's why, you know, when you started kind of seeing ESOC patches and then going into DE, you saw a lot of these colonial builds starting to phase out because people realized that, you know, with just a little bit of smart building and some relatively, you know, wise engagements, you can hold off colonial units actually fairly easily, as long as you're not being, you know, overwhelmed. But I love how neither player is neglecting their economy while they are putting all of this military infrastructure out. And you can see, again, these Chimu runners, or maybe it's Kimu runners. If it's Kimu and Chimu, please let me know in the comments below. But these two Ulan getting caught again. And one of the big things about the German civilization is being able to get successful raids with those free Ulan. And losing those Ulan quickly means that when you get to the Third Age, you're not going to have all these extra Ulan, which now can be veteran Ulan, which are very strong. So, what is Revnak going to do? He's going to build a wall. Interesting. So I don't know if this is to give him a better engagement for his pikes or to protect his crossbows or what, but he's putting a wall across the middle of the map, almost like he's trying to solidify kind of this center trading post route, which is giving him a lot of resources. He has all of them set to coin now, along with sending the 700 coins. So it's very obvious to me, I hope he doesn't prove me wrong, that Revnak is planning to age here. Revnak, I think it's Revnak. Meanwhile, Aizamk is pumping out the Jungle Bowman, sending a Mara support, 5 Chaskis. Okay, interesting. Getting his market upgrades. Okay. So is Aizamk gearing up for a push here? He's sinking a lot of resources into units. He's got quite a few Jungle Bowmen. 24 Jungle Bowmen are out. Not the strongest unit, but that is quite a mass. He's got the Chimu Runners. He's got the Royal Arquebusier. He's got a decent composition here. And if he can catch this mass of pikes and crossbows and take it out, that would be a very good investment of those units. However, with this wall, Revnak now is able to protect his crossbows much more effectively. Now, this wall is not fully complete. There are holes in it, but look at this. This is such a good note. If you're a new player and you're trying to learn how to maximize your resources, look at what Revnak has done here. He's using the map to build his wall for him. So he's not building a wall section here, and using up a ton of wood. He's using the natural buildings and tree formations to mean that he doesn't have to spend as much wood on building a wall. Just a quick tip there. Most experienced players know that, but if you are a new player, always a good thing to remember. Use as many buildings and map features as you can to save on building costs. But there is a hole in this wall. The Revnakian wall is not without its limitations, and the Incan army is in now, and it is a mass of ranged infantry along with these Chimu runners, and it might start doing a ton of damage. The pikes have caught a lot of these Chimu runners. That's going to be good. The militiamen are coming out to defend the town center. It looks like he's been able to protect his villagers, even getting that settler wagon out of the way. 5 Ulans out of the stable, might be able to attack these bowmen, but deciding to go link up with these 2 other Ulan. Meanwhile, he's moving his pikes to the back of his base. The Minutemen are holding off the Chimu runners. Nice use to try to buy himself some time. Getting his villagers into the town center, going to start doing major damage on the shock infantry, and if he can take care of these Chimu runners and get out some Ulan, he might be able to stabilize here. In come the pile of Ulan, gonna try to deal with these Jungle Bowmen, and look at how they're cutting through the Jungle Bowmen, but the Jungle Bowmen, they need to turn around, they need to attack. He's trying to get this stable down, but I think Revnak is gonna be there in time. The pikemen coming in to reinforce, and it is a 2-pincer movement. In come more Ulan, the 9 Ulan shipmen coming out with more veteran pike. He even took the time to get the veteran upgrade for his pikemen, and this Incan army is gonna be massacred on the plains of Finland just as that stable was going down. And because they were not able to go down with that stable, 5 more Ulan are gonna come out of it, and is gonna just further reinforce this army. And what an engagement for Revnak. That was such a good take. The Incan army has been obliterated. Now, that does not mean Aizamk is out of this game in any way, shape, or form. Let's take a quick look at the villager count. Revnak at 35. Meanwhile, Aizamk is at 41. He has a superior economy, although we have to remember some of those German villagers are settler wagons, which basically count as 2. So that difference is not as large as it might seem. Oh man, okay, I gotta calm down. That was so much. Meanwhile, what's happening next? The German army's moving in, and now it's Aizamk getting a good engagement, getting these, what are those plume spearmen? Yeah, plume spearmen and Chosky? I'm not sure. But able to take out some of those Ulan, but there's still so many cav here. that the Jungle Bowmen are... Oh, they're in danger of getting surrounded. Gonna try to kite with those Jungle Bowmen. But look at how many Ulan are on the map. That's 16 veteran Ulan. Oh my goodness, Revnak had to have sent, yeah, he sent 9 Ulan, he sent 8 Ulan, and now even starting to produce some skirmishers to replace his crossbowmen. Skirmishers, very, very superior to the H2 crossbows as they are able to kite and they have more range. Wow. Oh my goodness. So this center of the map, kind of this ice field, is just it's an absolute killing ground. More Chimu runners, gonna be a decent counter to try to ward off those Ulan. However, if I was Revnak, I would certainly like the position I'm in. I still have full control of the trade line. I have a decent water economy going. I've got plenty of infrastructure here in the middle of the map. I've got 2 barracks, I've got a stable. I've still got plenty of nice, pretty scary Age 3 shipments to send. I can still send 8 skirm. I can still send my war wagons. I can still send military upgrades. I can still send 1,000 wood, 1,000 coin. I have mercenaries. So Revnak in a very nice spot. However, Aizamk is by no means dead. He held off the pressure relatively well. He's got elite plumed spearmen to deal with the cavalry. He's got Chimu runners. He's got jungle bowmen. He has plenty of infrastructure as well. He's got the native trading posts, okay? Or sorry, not, I guess they're not trading posts, but native posts. I guess they are trading posts. Revnak even getting his church upgrades here. What is he getting? He's getting gaslighting. He's getting a priest, he's getting town watch, he's getting amalgamation, so his more advanced Age 3 market upgrades. So Revnak taking some time here, not pushing the attack, going to build up his economy, possibly mass up a very scary Age 3 army, and then try to push into this Incan base once again. Aizamk is continuing to make plumed spearmen. He has sent melee infantry combat to buff up his spearmen and his Chimu runners, making more Vils, making more Chusky. I really wish I knew how to say that. I'm just going to go with Chusky for now. Putting down another war hut, so that means he has 1, 2, 3 war huts at this point. He's got the royal embassy, lots of concha houses. Now, if we were to take a look at the resource situation, still a pretty productive gold mine in his base. He's got a safe second mine, possibly a third mine here. However, he's running out of natural hunts. He just has this hunt here, a few straggling animals up here. Meanwhile, Revnak has, I would say, almost 3 entire hunts, possibly 4, that he can rely on. So if Aizamk does not push out and get a major engagement and seize some map control, he is going to eventually be starved out, because he does not have any water presence. Meanwhile, Revnak has a significant water presence. And have I said Revnak's name like 5 different ways this game? Yes, I have. Am I sorry for it? To be determined. So, the German player is going to try to take out this native post, this Tembo, but he is not going to be successful. The jungle bowman gonna hold him off. However, the skirmishers are going to be better at kiting against the jungle bowmen. So just a one-on-one fight, I would certainly take these skirms. However, the jungle bowmen, if they're allowed to sit and just do DPS, are very, very effective. It looks like Revnak has added a significant amount of war wagons to his composition, 11 war wagons, and given how tanky they are, 11 actually is quite a large number. 4 more coming out, possibly 5, sending cavalry combat. Now, Germany, while this fight is going on, I'm going to quick pan over. He actually is doing well with his gold, which, for Germany eats through gold like Brit and Portuguese eat through hunts, right? They go through it very quickly. So making sure that you capture as many gold mines and keep them safe as possible is very important for Germany. And it looks like he has done that here. He's got plenty of gold. He's even going to take out this royal embassy, has already taken out the Tumbo. And so, I don't know. I think things are looking good for Revnak right now, even getting counter infantry rifling to make his skirmishers that much better. Is Aizamk, is anything coming down the line? More plumed spearmen, getting out some bola warriors who have that area of effect damage, and they do slow down enemies, excuse me. Good against cavalry. But again, I mean, just look at Aizank's base. He's basically out of food. I can't see any hunts. And look at this, Revnak even has a mini squad of veteran pikemen to make sure that if Aizamk does try to expand to the north of the map, he will see it. So, good preemptive scouting by the German player. Meanwhile, those skirmishers and war wagons continuing to pick at those plumed spearmen because, you know, those plumed spearmen, they do need that time to set up their animation and begin firing, and it can kind of be a detriment. But a Kalanka coming down and more elite Bola warriors coming out. He's probably had that down for a while, and I just didn't see it. The pikeman squadron is gonna go down. Those brave men did their duty. They scouted the map, and now the German player knows exactly where the Incan army is, though the Incan army is going to retreat, and those men did in fact die in vain. So sad. I also forgot to point out earlier that Aizamk had a balloon. He had an air balloon using to scout the map. I just find that very funny. That's a very Aizamk thing to do. Unless that is meta. I don't know of an air balloon meta, but if it exists, please let me know, because I'll have to start using it. Great feast coming in for Aizamk, further improving his economy. Sending out some Chincha rafts, it looks like. So possibly going to try to contest the water with Revnak. He's even got some fishing boats out. Revnak has sent... Oh, the Kaiser. Oh, 9. Look at those guns. Oh, that battleship looks so good. That's going to do so much damage. And look, he's even positioned his army close to his battleship, knowing it's going to arrive soon. And there's that oh crap moment for Aizamk as the Kaiser pulls up to the coast. What does he do here? He can't stand and fight that. He can't take a fight next to this battleship. And this battleship is just going to destroy whatever rafts he tries to send out, unless he's able to mass them, but I don't think Revnak's going to allow that to happen. And look, Aizamk just says, okay, fine. It's a base trade then. Is Revnak going to take this bait? No, I don't think he is. He's just going to go on a massive Vil raid here. Going to raid the community plaza, kill a good handful of Vils, I think 4 or 5, maybe more. And going to go for the town center. It's a base trade. It's a base trade, boys. Here we go. Although, because Revnak has this wall, I think Revnak's going to be able to take down more stuff than Aizamk will. Although there is more siege potential in Aizank's army. But it looks like Aizamk is not going to allow his base to go down that easily, is going to send his army back. Meanwhile, more Ulan splitting off to attack these Incan villagers who have started building farms, and that is a... whenever you see a farm, whenever you see one player making farms and the other player has not made farms, that is a very bad sign for whoever made the farm. Means that he is going to be gathering food, at an exponentially slower rate than his opponent. But wow, this Incan base is just being torn to shreds. I don't know. I don't know if this is recoverable for Aizamk. I mean, look at how much infrastructure is being lost here. The Kaiser is just decimating these docks. And all of the fishing ships are basically dead. He's got 2 rafts over here. Although this caravel, the Berlin, still not the Sea Peacock, is possibly going to attack them. But meanwhile, the Incan army has made their presence known. And they are going to possibly try to defend their base. But, I mean, Revnak has a really nice composition here. He's got Ulan, veteran pikemen, war wagons, and where's his massive skirms? He got a big massive skirms here somewhere. Oh! It looks like Aizamk is split off his army. He's got half of his army, mainly made of bowmen and plumed spearmen, attacking the German base, while his primary army has gone to defend his own. This is such a weird game. Meanwhile, Revnak putting up another town center. But Oh my goodness, this Incan base. I mean, look at how much infrastructure. This whole area of map was full of buildings. There was no open real estate here, and it's just all gone. Meanwhile, what's left of the base is not going to survive much longer. However, I think the Incan army might finally decide to engage here. And quite honestly, I like Aizamk's odds in this fight. I mean, he's taking out a lot of the veteran pikes. The Ulan are going down thanks to the help of the Bolo runners and that area effect damage. The war wagons are good, but by themselves, they're not going to be able to defend themselves against just this mass of infantry. Is Revnak going to lose this army? I mean, maybe for him it's a worthwhile investment. Meanwhile, this secondary Inca force is just terrorizing the second colony that Revnak is trying to produce here. And look at this. Revnak is on the last gold mine for his side of the map. So the effect we were talking about earlier about Germans eventually being starved for gold is coming into play. However, these war wagons are just being so tanky. And it looks like the skirmisher max was mixed in with the war wagons, so it was kind of hard to see. But what is Revnak doing? Making more fishing boats, sending his 8 skirm, making 5 more. But I think he's going to lose this whole army. And these war wagons, don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. These war wagons are not cheap. I mean, the Kaiser is still firing from offshore, but Aizamk has begun building his base way in the north of the map. And once he kind of gets everything settled here, the Kaiser is going to be much less effective in future fights, although it will allow him to maintain control of the water. But I don't even think Aizamk is fighting for water anymore. I really don't think he is. Looks like his secondary army is going to be taken down, but that did a lot of damage. It took out a stable. It harassed a bunch of villagers. It took out a town center before it was dealt with. Meanwhile, the German player, I don't know. I think the German player is running out of steam. Unless he's saving for something big. I mean, he didn't age up. He did lose a trading post. I don't know. Did he just kind of send all of his shipments and he just slowly petered out? That seems strange. Revnak's at 50 vils. Aizamk is at 58, so despite having less resources, he still has more vils technically. Though you gotta remember, settler wagons count as 2 vils. And 27 minutes into the game, you guys can't see because I don't want you to know when the game ends, but we are at the 27-minute mark, and the trading line has finally gone down for the German player, which, I mean, that's saying something, that he got a solid 23, 22, 25 minutes, whatever, you know, however long it took to put those up. He got a solid 20-ish minutes of production out of those trading posts. And for most of the time, it was upgraded to stagecoach, so made his money back in droves. Look at this German base. He's got 4 frontier outposts. So, and an arsenal, which is where he got all of his upgrades. The 1 dock's still out, replacement stable. Yeah, you guys might have saw Revnak in the chat say, call it a draw. I think that basically was a draw. I mean, at the beginning here, I was saying that the German player had all of the advantages just because he was destroying buildings left and right. But seeing how much he lost and how many of those shipped units he lost, and now we look, there are really no more scary shipments as far as military units besides mercenaries. So, I mean, that scary Age 3 Germany is no longer as scary. Now, granted, he still has some very, very nice resource shipments. But the Incan player, he has survived the main German power spike. And I mean, credit to Aizamk, but at the same time, I don't know. Maybe Revnak stayed for longer than he should have. But that was a strange kind of armistice that happened there. I mean, I guess both players just kind of decided, yep, we lost enough. Time for both of us to sit back and rebuild. And I mean, both players have rebuilt. The infantry mass for the Incan player has been rebuilt almost completely. Meanwhile, Revnak has taken, he has wasted no time in rebuilding that skirmisher mass along with a decent amount of war wagons. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see less Ulans, and we're going to see a heavier investment in the specific anti-infantry, anti-cav composition. Also rebuilding his trading line. Very good for him. Aizamk continuing to pump out what looks like elite Chimu runners, which will be good against that mass of skirmishers. But Revnak pumping out more war wagons, which is going to be good against the Chimu runners. And this battleship, the Kaiser, is just going to continue to harass anything that comes even close. And Revnak even starting to send villagers to what looks to be deep into enemy territory. And, I mean, they're about as safe as you can be. You can't attack these villagers while that battleship is sitting there. The battleships are so effective against land infantry. I don't know. Somebody's got to make a move here, right? Otherwise, we're going to be trading and rebuilding units till the end of time. It looks like Aizamk has sent torps. A nice way of stimulating his economy. We are at we're at the 31-minute mark in my recording, so I apologize for the word flubs, but I really don't want to start again. And it looks like Revnak is going to be going to the industrial age. Aizamk also building up resources, clicking to the industrial age as well with the wise woman. Meanwhile, Revnak is aging with the cavalry marshal. So this would be a great time to see what they have in the fourth age. We have, for Revnak, the Polish winged hussars and the 2 factories. So actually very minimal cards to send in the fourth age. And for Aizamk, we have 1600 wood, 16 Chimu runners, the infinite 13 Chimu runners card, the census, I think, and the Tupac Rebellion. I'm sorry, it's probably not Tupac. Is it Tupac? Tupac? You know what? In honor of Tupac, we're going to call it the Tupac Rebellion. But, wow. What a game. What a game. This is precisely what I wanted, right? I wanted a long, drawn-out, interesting game with lots of units and lots of action, and, I mean, there's been so much action that it's kind of been hard to follow. But, as both players are entering the fourth age of this drawn-out Finnish battlefield, I just want to say quick, once again, thank you guys. If you have decided to subscribe to this weird series, this long journey, I really do sincerely thank you. It has been a great time for me, and hopefully a great time for you as well. But enough of the sentimental talk. We are in the fourth age. The veteran Ulan storming across the map, along with the giant mass of skirmishers. And Revnak, he should be slamming down those upgrades as soon as he can, getting hunting expeditions, sending coin with all of his trading posts, getting more vills. Has not put down any military upgrades yet, but he'll definitely want to get those elite upgrades, especially for his skirmishers and his Ulans. Really, I mean, those fourth age upgrades for those units beef them up a lot. He's going to upgrade his walls from palisades to stone walls, did rebuild that second town center, and I mean, you can just see from the mini-map, in terms of map control, Revnak is doing very well. He's got 3 town centers, complete water control, and if Aizamk, honestly, if this goes another 3-4 minutes without Aizamk getting some sort of big victory, I really don't see how he wins this game. Even Revnak has an air balloon now. Look at this guy. Look at this guy just overseeing the Incan base. I see you. Wow. What a game. But the fight is beginning. And oh my god. What? What? Aizamk has veteran dragoons, guard hussars, and guard skirmishers? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He sent Tupac Rebellion, and now look at this army. He's got revolutionaries, he's got guard hussars. He's got guard skirmishers. He's got veteran dragoons. Look at this army. He's got 0 villagers. This is the last push. If Revnak somehow manages to hold, he will win this game. But look at this force of units. Out come the 6 Polish hussars. The charge of the hussars. Oh, this is the siege of Vienna all over again, except it's the siege of German Finland? I don't know. The historical context doesn't make sense, but this is awesome. Revnak is throwing up stone walls in desperation. Out come the Polish hussars. But against all of this colonial militia and guard hussars, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. And look, that's not even the main force. He's like, oh, hey, yeah, you can deal with this, but what about this? Oh, my. Now, he has upgraded his outposts to fortified, so they are going to do a ton of damage. It's like having 5 mini forts in your base. But at the same time, his military composition is just being decimated. He's trying to wall his skirmishers in. I mean, look at these guard hussars. They are hunting for any spot they can to get in. But the guard war wagons have made their way to the battlefield. I don't know, maybe Revnak will hold. It is possible. But at the same time, what is Revnak's resource? Yeah, Revnak running low on resources. He has 1,000 wood, but what is he gonna do with that? Make pikes? Build buildings? I mean, he could put up some more outposts, but he needs units. He needs war wagons. He needs guard Ulan. But this army is so overwhelmingly gargantuan that I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. This is exactly the swing that we were talking about. What did I say? He needed 3 or 4 minutes, and then the game was sealed. And Aizamk hit the big red button and said, screw you. How about I just make all of my units high elite military units? Why don't I just do that? Is that okay with you guys? Oh my gosh, I need coffee. Good Lord. I feel like my commentary is just very subpar right now, and it's because I don't know how to react. I mean, how do you react when 100 industrial grade units just appear out of nowhere? However, at the same time, now that my excitement is starting to wear off a little bit, this push is petering out. Yeah, it's petering out a lot. I think Revnak... Is Revnak gonna hold? No, surely not. He's gonna hold. Revnak's gonna hold. And I think it's mainly because Aizamk has been so concerned about taking down this wall that he's gotten a lot of his units killed kind of needlessly. I don't know, was that a mistake by Aizamk? Did he just kind of click off to check back in his base? I mean, but what does he need to go to his base for? He has no villagers. Meanwhile, Revnak has 71 villagers. He's kept them well protected, and a lot of these villagers working on this side of the map haven't even been disturbed. He's gonna hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe what I'm seeing. By pumping out war wagons and using clever walling and fortified outposts, I think Revnak's gonna hold. He's gonna hold this ludicrous timing / 2-pack revolt by Aizamk. Aizamk calling the GG, and there's the game. Revnak holds against astounding pressure, and he's able to win this amazing Age 4 match. Wow. So that was fun. That was incredible. I apologize for how manic and probably high-pitched I got during that final kind of 10 minutes of the game, but I've never seen anything like that in recent memory. I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about, you know, when at the beginning, oh, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. At the beginning of the game when I said, you know, one of the reasons why classic Saturday SmackDown Aizamk versus Mito versus I Am Soldier versus H2O was always fun to watch, is because you really never knew what you were going to get. And I don't know how many of you sat down and went, oh, Germany versus Inca. Yeah, it's going to be an Age 4 fight with a Tupac Revolt and a Battleship and Guard Hussars coming out from the Incan player. And Polish Winged Lancers. Oh, man. Well, for anybody that says that the AOE3 community is dead or dying, the proof is in the pudding, and the proof says you are wrong, because this community is still pumping out some incredible games. And as I will say for the third time, I am just very grateful to be a part of it. Wow. Thank you, Revnak. This was sent to me directly by Revnak, and what a game. Thank you so much, sir. And if you have any more games to send me, Aizamk, if you see this, number one, big fan. Number two, if you have any games, please send them my way. However, I don't just accept games from the uppermost level players. No matter what rank you are, no matter what ELO rating you are, if you have an interesting game, please go to my YouTube channel, check the email that is attached to it, and send a recorded game to that email, and I would love to cast your game. All right, guys, I am tapped. I am going to go. This has been my favorite AOE3 Thursday yet. I loved them all, but this just takes the cake. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Until I see you again, ladies and gentlemen, see you later.